Hey, what's up, guys? Norchetto here. Thanks for stopping back in. Pretty big week this past week. We have our Academy team. ATL Academy was announced on Friday, formerly last night's leftovers. A tweet was sent out saying, Thanksgiving is over and it's raining leftovers. It is our pleasure to announce that last night's leftovers will be competing as Atlanta Reign's Academy team in Season 3, 2018 of Overwatch Contenders. Welcome your ATL Academy to Overwatch Contenders, # academically gifted. And this was actually sent out with a roster reveal video that was so well done. It was very similar to the Atlanta Reign roster reveal. This was apparently made by Jarrell, one of the newer staff acquisitions that we've been made aware of, and he knocked that out of the park. I mean, everything from the visual similarities to the Atlanta Reign roster reveal to the voice lines being incorporated to the characters being played for each one of the players. Just very professionally done. The logo looks great. It really reminds me of like the flame coming off of the wingtip of the Atlanta Reign logo, forming this A for the ATL Academy logo. And I love it. I love how much that's all being kind of incorporated in and supported, and it really makes it feel like the Academy team is part of the royal family, if you will, of Atlanta Reign. So I'm really happy with how this was announced and how much support they're getting. Jumping into who's on the team, it's being coached by Legit RC, who you may know that name from someone who coached with Sephi on with Selfless and San Francisco Shock, and he coached with him with last night's leftovers. So very, very strong synergy between our coaching staff with the Atlanta Reign and the coaching staff with our Academy team, ATL Academy. And this is actually one of the people who took over the reins of the of last night's leftovers when kind of the shakeup happened, when the rosters and staff were announced for Atlanta Reign. Legit RC and I believe Ajax actually took over the rebuilding of last night's leftovers. So awesome coach that we have that has a lot of synergy with the staff that's already there. And let me just go ahead and say, since this is last night's leftovers we're talking about, we have history and synergy with Sephi, our head coach. Silence, our assistant coach, was their analyst, and then Inlayer, one of the players formerly of last night's leftovers, is on our main Atlanta Reign roster. So there's a lot of ties there. But as far as the actual players on the team go, we have our support line, which is Dogman and Ajax, and these are two very, very impressive guys. Ajax has been playing, well, they've both been playing kind of since the beginning. They've been doing that Path to Pro grind for years at this point, and I'm so proud of them for sticking with it and that it's paying off for them. Ajax actually has a pinned tweet that says, I went through some dark times in Overwatch preseason 1. No team even wanted me to try out. Like I was the plague. Players in most of the community said I was trash. Never give up on your dreams, even if everyone tells you otherwise. Next goal is OWL. Thanks for the continued support. And that attitude right there tells me pretty much everything I need to know about supporting Ajax, which is hell yeah, buddy. Like thank you so much for being able to have the constitution to let those comments and everything roll off your back and keep grinding. There's a lot of toxicity out there, and a lot of people lash out towards people that are in positions they wish they could be in, and I think that's what it is, that Ajax was having to work hard, and he may have stumbled a few times, but he understood that that's all it was. It was a stumble, and he just needed to keep moving forward, and he just let all these people throwing insults at him just fall behind. So good for you, man. I'm so happy you are where you are. I'd love to see you in the Overwatch League, and not even just with talent, but that attitude you have is so important to foster good growth in the community. So props to you. And then moving on to our other support player, Dogman, another player who has just been around for so long and has been grinding for so long. But the thing about Dogman is he's immersed in the whole community, the whole game. So you have this player who has been on teams like Congarna, Toronto Esports, Bye Week, and last night's leftovers there at the end before they got picked up. But alongside all of the time that he's played, he has worked as a commentator. He did work with the TESPA Collegiate Series last year. He started a open division team with Jane that was for kind of fostering new talent and finding new talent to bring up into the tier 3 scene, which props to you for that. And then on top of all of that, he was running a podcast called The Ultimate Advantage, where he was taking pros, people in the league, and other people, and just kind of sitting down and having honest conversations with them and asking very important questions about what it's like, and kind of just picking their brain. Which, exciting news, he said that the Ultimate Advantage podcast would be coming back. So learning about this, I've been trying to catch up on older episodes, and I really recommend them. It gives you a lot of insight into who these players are and the experiences they're having. But I'm really excited to see it coming back. So a lot of very very good talent, old school talent there, and just a lot of drive from our support line. As far as DPS, we have Saucy and Sugar Free. I don't actually know a whole lot about Saucy. He seems to have only been playing with a lot of other pros somewhat recently. That being said, he did play with Second Wind through the trials for Season 3 in Contenders, and they pretty much were top of the pack. So it's a pretty big pickup based on how he's been playing recently. He hasn't actually competed in Contenders. He's done trials, so I'm really looking to see what he can do. And this is a player that came from, he was on the Open Division team that Dogman and Jane started. So it seems like he was kind of picked up based on a lot of the skill he had, and he's just been continuing to prove that he's got what it takes to continue to move up. So I really am interested to see what Saucy can do. And then Sugar Free is a lot of people know Sugar Free for because a lot of the memes going around with his age. Dude started playing when he was 13. And that was last year. He is currently 14, about to be 15, for if the dates are correct that I'm looking at. And he is considered by a lot of people to be one of the best DPS players that is ineligible for Overwatch League in the West. He's been called budget Korean. So basically, that seems like an insult, but that's saying that he is a Western player that can play on the same level as Korean players who are considered the top in the world. But he's an insane player, man, especially for someone so young. It's interesting that we wouldn't be able to see him in the league for several years, but having someone with this much skill working with our academy team and really just improving their skill by playing alongside him is the ripples of his ability and him being on this team are going to be felt. So that is a huge pickup, and I look forward to seeing him perform as well over the next few years until he can make it into the league. And then our tank players, we have Gator and Hawk. Hawk is another player that I actually don't know a whole lot about. He seems to have been playing somewhat recently. He has played with teams we might know about, Phase 2, No Clout, Bazooka Puppies, and he even played with Goats in the Contender Season 2 trials. So he's played with pros. It looks like he hasn't had a chance to fully stretch his legs and come into his own, and I really want to see again what made people confident that he should be elevated up. I think there's something there, and I really just want to see it. And then Gator, who we should all know from being on the main Atlanta Reign roster, is just a phenomenal tank player, and he has a two-way contract clearly where he's going to be able to, if we need him to kind of flex up to the league team to play for Atlanta Reign, he's allowed to play, I think, two games per stage, so he can stay on both teams. But it seems like he's going to be more for really fostering talent, and what we know about Gator is he's a very intelligent player. He has a commanding presence when he's in game, and he can really control his team, and that ability is going to be really important in teaching new players, the up and comers, to have a lot of synergy and kind of work well together. So I think him being a leader on that team and being able to be pulled up when needed is going to be a huge advantage in the long run. I think it's a very smart move. So yeah, that's our team, and much like Atlanta Reign, on paper this team looks phenomenal. There's a couple players that We haven't seen a whole lot from them performance-wise, but we see a lot of upward momentum in their career, and there's a reason for that. So I really want to see them, what they can do in Contenders. And this starts tomorrow. Contender Season 3 starts November 27th. First game is actually ATL Academy versus Mayhem Academy, so we're going to get to see our guys pop off. And that's at 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe. So definitely support our Academy team. Definitely support these guys. These are the people who are going to be playing for the Reign in the next few years. Support our players, guys. The organization is by putting in so much work into the reveals and the branding and things like that. And if we really want to see the Tier 2 scene grow, it's up to us. It's up to us to watch and really support these guys. So they're part of the Atlanta Reign Royal family. Let's show them that support. And I did want to bring up about, there's been a lot of changes to how Contenders work, and there's been a lot more focus on Academy teams. And it's been met with a little bit of ire from the community, because a lot of people like seeing those endemic organizations, the organizations that don't have sponsors, that are just a scrappy group of people come together and just fight their way tooth and nail to the top. And that's always fun to watch. That's always just really exciting to see those stories. But at the same time, people are wanting to see a lot more money and support dumped into the Tier 2 scene. Everyone's calling for Blizzard to do it. But if you look at the changes that are being made about Blizzard wanting more Tier 2 teams and Academy teams specifically to be in Contenders, what that's saying is that for whatever reason, they are not looking to dump a whole lot of money in. Maybe they're still trying to make sure there's legs under the Overwatch League and they don't want to divert too much attention. But you have all of these organizations that have put a ton of money forward to compete in the Overwatch League, and to kind of show those organizations that, hey, we want to let you guys also support the Tier 2 scene and have a Tier 2 team. That's going to bring a lot of money and stability into the Tier 2 scene that a lot of people want. And no, it's not going to be these unknown endemic organizations and stuff, or scrappy group of guys a lot of times. But it's I think stability is, in the long run, more important than those fun success stories. So it's up for discussion. I'm not saying that I am completely right, but that's my view on it. I think this focus on Academy teams and Contenders is actually going to work out in the long run, because of how much support these players are going to get, because they deserve it. They absolutely deserve it. But that's our Academy team, guys. ATL Academy, definitely support them, and check them out. 11/27, 7 p.m. versus Mayhem Academy. Moving on from that, there was some fan art and somewhat official art I wanted to touch on. We a few weeks back we talked about some fan art that had come out after the official announcement, and there's been more, and I wanted to make sure to touch on that. Starting with some wallpapers. Jarrell, who is an official member of staff, actually made a couple of wallpapers, one desktop wallpaper, and I think it's just one phone wallpaper. And they look fantastic. Definitely check those out. And then Brittany Boo on Twitter, who is legit RC's partners, his girlfriend, she actually ended up making Atlanta or ATL Academy wallpapers. So I love seeing that support for our Academy team, and I really hope to see more fan art from both sides, both ATL Academy and Atlanta Reign. More fan art I wanted to really talk about was one that I missed a few weeks back, and I don't know how I missed this, but it definitely is worth a look back, and that is this jacket made by Nublet with meta threads, and it's just a concept. He works making apparel and things like that. But this looks so pro. It's so hype, and I would love to have something like this. Now, this is a fan creation. This isn't a jacket we should expect to be getting, but just if we did, that would be an immediate buy. Very well done. Very well done. That's at Siqueiros David on Twitter. So definitely check him out. The other one I wanted to point out was from Seiyun904, or My Name is Anya on Twitter. And that is this concept that she came out with of characters that go along with the team. So almost like mascots, but these are kind of like anime girls or things like that. Just artistic expression of personification of each of the team. And I really, really liked the Atlanta Reign one. There's a lot of personality put into it. There's a lot of personality put into all of them, and I suggest you check all of them out. The Hangzhou Spark one is blowing up. Very well done. But this Atlanta Reign one, you get to see like the crown incorporated into the hair, and then the mark under the eye. The color's well done. It's very focused on that light gray with the darker gray and or the charcoal and red accents. It's really well done. I love seeing stuff like this, but this one specifically got me thinking about mascots, and that's something we haven't really seen in the Overwatch League. There's been a couple instances, like in Season 1, there was LA Valiant hired a cosplayer to come in who had made a Valkyrie outfit, like a Valiant-themed Valkyrie outfit, and it was so awesome. And I would really love to see more teams kind of get on that and kind of have a homegrown mascot, which made me think, what would Atlanta Reign have? And one of the ideas I came up with, or that I think is probably pretty obvious, is a king or a queen in the Atlanta Reign colors with the crown and everything. It would be so cool to see some high-level cosplay of an Atlanta Reign-themed royal family. But what do you guys think? What would be a cool mascot, not only for the Reign, but for some of the other teams? Some of them are more obvious, like the LA Gladiators, obviously a gladiator, but some of them not so much, like the Spark or like New York Excelsior or something like that. So what would you guys like to see? And specifically for the Reign, what would be a cool idea for someone to create a cosplay for an Atlanta Reign style mascot? Definitely let me know what you think, and if you have any artistic chops, design me something. I'll feature it. I'd love to see. I love seeing fan art. I love seeing the things this community has been making and how excited they are. So definitely do what you can. Send it my way, and tweet at me, and I'll definitely retweet it and try to feature it. And the last thing I want to talk about today was the Thanksgiving message sent out by Atlanta Reign, and it was mainly just a happy Thanksgiving message, but we did get a bit more of a peek at some of the skins. So we got to see Genji, Rhine, and Widowmaker, who we've seen a little bit of before in the roster reveal video, but we got to see whole body shots of the skins in this picture, and look amazing. Absolutely look amazing. B, the characters I'm seeing with more of the silver and gray accents, so specifically in this one, Genji, the more I really like the skin. That incorporation of those light colors with red, filling it out, but being a complementary color rather than the one overtaking it, really, really has me excited for what a lot of these skins are going to look like. That Genji skin is blowing my mind. I really, really like it, and I am more convinced every day that the branching outside of just strict red and black was a good idea. So let me know what you guys think of these skins. Let me know what you guys think of our Academy team and whether or not you're going to be supporting them. Make me some fan art and let me throw it up here and feature it on my videos. And that's what I got, guys. Let me know what else you think, and until there's more news, I'll talk to you guys later.